Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 4, where we automate that smelter, and I did a little bit of upgrading between the end of the episode and before I recorded this opening. So let's hop into this episode and see what all I did. All right, getting into this episode here, folks. One of the things that we should actually have all the resources for is the broken comm link. I know I gathered this stuff here. Here we go. I know that there's 2 wires in one of these drawers somewhere that we got from breaking I can English. Breaking a one of those things open. And we just, we gotta change that kelp goo, which also we got from breaking chest open, traveling around, into a slime ball. Alright, so use for this. Oh, okay, it's got to be this recipe. Okay, there we go. There we go. GPS link established. We should not have had this mini map for a while, but we did. Oh, there's the main island off that direction. But yeah, I've explored quite a bit and gotten a lot of resources. There we go. We got the turtle trophy now, and that goes into here. But I was trying to get some glowstone so we can set this up a little bit better. And I'm at the stretched limits of my resources. And I figured today we will work on getting these blazing bricks, and if I got enough time, automating this fully. So, blazing bricks. We'll grab 9 of these. I need. There we go. The reason why is we're going to make a lot of this blazing bricks. And it's just easy to explain it as we go along. We first need grout. And grout is made by breaking down gravel, sand, and clay. Well, to get sand, we have to break dirt into that. And we've got plenty of gravel. The issue now is clay. And there's a couple ways of getting clay. We could do it with a tempered jar with no heat, with sand and gravel and water to get 32 clay balls, which technically is one of the easiest ways of doing it. So we're just gonna take this secondary jar, this secondary starter, come behind here, put the jar and that on top. And I think what we want is one stack of that, one stack of that, and we need our buckets. And since this is going to be more like a permanent area, we'll just get a couple buckets of water. Make an infinite source of water right here. And we'll just go in here, put in sand, gravel, and it's going to automate the clay balls for us, as long as we keep it full of water. And we can only do 8 buckets at a time, but I need another thing of sand done up, because I didn't realize like another stack of sand. Alright, this should be the sand that we need. I'm not sure how much more of this we're going to need. But I have no problem making as much clay as we can. And that is a stack of clay blocks. So we can take a stack of gravel, stack up the clay that we have, and this balance hold on. Am I thinking of a different mod pack? Yes, I am. Fire clay. Okay, okay. We already have fire clay. I already made fire clay. I just need to make up the bricks. I completely messed up there. I was thinking of a different mod pack. There we go. There's the fire clay. And I'm going to process this for a little bit and then be right back. Okay, guys, while we're waiting, I'm setting up a couple more of these. It should actually have enough to get started. Go. We should have enough of those fire bricks to get started at least on the building blocks. We need 21 of these guys. So let's see here. We've got 72 of them. Okay, so we need a controller, a tank, and a liquid heating coil. I need to construct a base that can get hot enough to melt metals. Copper seems to be good conductive metal for this. Of course, I also need a way to control the foundry itself as well as storage within something. Craft the foundry controller, foundry tank, and 9 liquid heating coils. Okay, so we're gonna need 9 times 3, so 27 heating coils. Okay, 27. I'm hoping I made enough copper for this. And iron. I knew we were going to need some for this, so... 9 buckets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 27. There we go. We got the 9 of those. Need the foundry controller, which is a blast furnace, smooth stone furnace, and some the issue right now is we don't have any smooth stone. So get some smooth stone done up here. More iron looks like we're gonna need. Foundry tank is blast bricks around what looks to be glass. You know what? We did up all that sand. Let's get that made as well. Take that, put that in there, get the sand. Get more of these fire bricks. And these fire bricks are going to make it so we can set up a blast furnace. It's like, why do we have that there? And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So we can set up a blast furnace and honestly get more metals from the clusters. All right, we got those. We got that. We can pick this guy back up, make a blast furnace. I don't understand the use for this, but okay. Blast furnace with controller, that. And a foundry tank is that. And yeah, okay, so let's set this up someplace nice for our automation. I think we're gonna set up the automation for this over here, and we're gonna take out stone here. Let's get up that way. And if I'm not mistaken, it sets up like the foundry that I was thinking it was going to be. All right, so we'll set up fire bricks along here, along here, along here, and I say here as well. We'll get a tank here and a controller here. And if I'm not mistaken, we're going to need tables and a drain. Drain is made how? Okay, so just 8 fire bricks that way. I'll set this drain here. And I think a table is just this. And a tap. Okay. So pretty much the recipes I was thinking. Set the tap up there. All right, so now what does it need? It says an ingot cast, which we're going to need an ingot with molten cast iron. Make molten cast iron. It's just melting down a cast iron. So let's set up these fire bricks here. Ooh, that looked hot. Okay, so we got this working. I think we can upgrade it. So let's make cast iron. 4 of them real quick. And then we'll get the stuff that we need for this. We need a plate. How do we get a plate? Iron plate. It's done with cast iron. No, no. How about copper plate? Yeah, all of this stuff is cast iron. Let's go through this real quick. Bronze, diamond, amber, osmium, tin, palladium, quantum, copper, aluminum, lead, silver, nickel, uranium, Constantine, electrum, steel. I'm not sure how to get the plates, but we'll toss those 2 in there, and it's saying that we don't have any heat in there. It's too cold. I made heat with this tank. I just put a lava bucket here, and I just put stone into here, and it pumped right into that tank. Tank's super easy. It's just all iron, so. Okay, so we've got all that cast iron. Now, oh wow, we're going to need more than just 2 cast irons to make one of those. Does it say? Yeah, 360. So it requires 4 to make 1 plate. thing. But I'm going to take a quick break and figure out how to make the plate one. Okay, it took me a little bit to figure it out, and it is gold with the hammer. So I think we do have a little bit of gold here. And I know I have the hammer from Immersive Engineering. It's one of the things that I got from one of the drops. Give that a few seconds to build that up. All right, so we've got our first cast here. So now we can take the iron or other stuff that we want to process and put it into here. After a little bit, melts them all up and we get several blocks worth and some ingots worth. Like, it's pretty nice. It's a lot faster than using those jars and a lot more that we're getting for these clusters. Let's see if we can somewhat automate this. By adding some pipes. I'm not going to put this guy in here because of the one thing. So let's see here. Do we have we have these pipes from this mod. So let's see here. That is item pipes, pipes. There is the fluid pipe, which requires conduit binder. Conduit binder is made with clay balls, gravel, and sand. So we have all of this clay balls here. I had cast iron in there. Bet you're all like laughing it up right now because, you know, Malcor's mistakenly missing some stuff. Clay balls. There we go. Fluid pipe. Conduit binder. There we go. Made some of this stuff. Let's break it into 3 stacks here. Should be enough for all of these to process. I need some more furnace fuel. Grab this out, this out. And yeah, we can actually upgrade this a lot more, so. But I want to automate this somewhat. And I want to see first off, can we automate it? Okay. Grab some of this conduit binder here. And we're going to set this up this way. We're going to say conduit binder. This give me, you know what, just 2 stacks of this and some item binders, which requires nickel. Which, if you notice, we did have a little bit of nickel over here. Not that much. Oh, that requires birch. It requires planks. Okay. Do we have any planks still left? Wood. Here we go. Yeah, we're running low on stuff. Between episodes, I'll be mining trees and running this through. I'm hoping somewhat automating it. And we got the wrench in one of these chests. There we go. So let's see here. If we pickaxe this off, okay, we set this here. Is it shift? No? Okay. Not shift right click. Okay, so we have to do that. And okay, so that does pour it out. Now let's see here. If we take an item pipe, say this way, and make a chest. Yeah, I know. You guys are probably like already 3 steps ahead of me, like, Malcor, this was already easily done. Nope. How do we use these wrenches? Does it say in the book? Does it say in the book how to use these? It doesn't say how to. Okay, that's interesting. Do we have to be below it? Is this one of those ones that sites do matter? If so, this is going to be a little bit more complex than I want it to be, but... Okay, so item pipe. Oh, okay. Water disconnects them. Give me a moment. I'm gonna figure this out. Okay, guys, I figured it out. You have to right-click it with an empty hand, not with the wrench. Not with the wrench. There we go. So that's piping into there. We have another chest. This is Malcor playing around with a mod he's never played with before. Ardtech is new to me. Technically, the Productive Metalworks is also new to me, but it sort of reminds me of Tinker's Construct, so we set that there. Item pipe that. Wrench that. Okay. Right-click that. Can we say take couple stacks of copper? I don't think that's gonna mess with the iron in here. We have nuggets in there. That's not gonna be a good thing. 2 nuggets, so we need 7 nuggets. Yeah, we'll try this, okay? So we can put those in there. That melted it down. So there we go. That is actually producing iron. And now copper. And it's not mixing the two. And if you notice there, we have this lava. And if we take, say, this tank here, we can set up, say, this tank like this. Configure it so that it's on this side is push into here. That's going to fill up the lava. Got an uneven amount of iron in here. I'm gonna bet you if we put 2 more iron in there. And right click that. That puts us at 30 iron. Huh. Bet you we're gonna have to break it and place this down. So yeah, that's us automating this. I'll be right back once we got a little bit of that processed up and see how much time we have left, okay? Okay, guys, before we wrap things up, first things I want to do is make this iron plate, or this gold plate here, so we can place this gold here. And nope. Take that out, put that in, and go back to that. Now we got the iron plate, the plate sheets, and we've got the ability to craft electrum and invar using this, which is going to help us further down the line here. Yeah, I think that is it for today. I have an idea. I'm going to be moving this strainer, say this strainer, and built 3 more, say right about here, or 2 more, right about that spot. And yeah, there's the reason why I just did that, because I want to move this pump over. And to place the pump down, you need water underneath it, so yeah, what I'm going to do between episodes is set up a couple pumps here. Shouldn't be that hard to do. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do, like, at least the gravel setup. We're going to take this guy, the hammer, and the one thing over there. Those can be moved later. What I'm going to do is say this, we're going to say goes here. We're going to set up one of these handling sand, and one that's going to handle dust. I'm going to set that up between episodes. I'm going to have all of this stuff processed back here like so, but I'm going to say hammer will be here. This will be the input for that one. We'll set this guy up here. Item pipe here. And he's going to get item piped right into there. We're going to have this chest. I want the chest. Chest. Oh, man. There we go. This chest will go right here. All of this stuff will go in here. And I will figure out how we're going to move all of this stuff from here into here. And we're going to also have a jar set up over in that area. But I think that should be the ideal way we go with the next episode. So until then, if you like this episode, hit that like button. If you dislike this episode, go right ahead and hit that dislike button. Tell me why you did down in the comments. Liked it, disliked it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and share it with your friends to really get the word out for this channel. We are trying to hit 1,000 by June. And with your help, we can do it. I will see you in the next episode. Until then, later, Gators.